Well, hi, everybody. Let's talk Lipton. I'm Scott, working across Pepsi, but specifically the Pepsi-Lipton partnership. And this past year, we had a big new product launch, Lipton Sparkling Iced Tea. The partnership came to us and said, hey, we want to do something that is going to introduce this new brand, sell a whole bunch of product, and really communicate what this proposition is, right? Because the idea of sparkling iced tea is actually relatively new to the market. So we had a big job to be done for the brand. So the team came to us, came to the out-of-home team, and challenged us to do a couple quick things. First was introduce and build brand awareness for the Lipton Sparkling product. This is not just about selling products, it's also teaching people what's in it and getting their expectations set for what they can get on the back end when they drink it. Then we were supposed to connect to the big cross-channel Tiny Bubbles campaign. We'll tap into this a little bit later, but this is one of the big success stories. We had a clear vision of what we were going to try and do, and that was bring these bubbles to life through the classic Tiny Bubbles song. I think it was Don Ho way back in the day. So we redid that, and we turned it around to some really great work. And then the showcase piece is execute a statement, breakthrough, award-worthy, call it what you will, but a tremendous out-of-home activation that would provide us a sampling opportunity, provide us plenty of eyeballs, and bring the idea to life in a really groundbreaking, impactful way. And then, of course, create content for digital, for owned, earned, and be accountable. And I think that be accountable is a real big thing that we added at the end, and we challenged the team to plug in there to make sure that everything is working for us. We aren't just doing cool for the sake of cool, but we're actually driving the business in a meaningful way. So we alluded to the fact that we had this bigger Tiny Bubbles campaign. Here's a quick glance at how it started. I think we can play the first video.
Tiny bubbles all the time. They make me feel happy.
Amazing things happen when tea and tiny bubbles combine. New Lipton Sparkling Iced Tea. Refreshing tea infused with light, crisp, tiny bubbles. New Lipton Sparkling Iced Tea for a taste that lifts you up.
Remember that from the summer? We ran it a lot. It was one of the heaviest TV programs I think I've ever been a part of. But it was part of a comprehensive cross-channel plan that I was referring to. We distributed it a bunch of different ways. The first was taking that 30-second, 15-second spot and distributing it. So we ran it on TV in a very heavy way. We ran it on digital in a very heavy way. But we also introduced the digital play space with a really smart strategy to get the video out near point of purchase in a way that might catch people off guard, but still be very impactful at getting through to the message. We also reimagined this idea. So you saw the commercial. It was Lipton Sparkling. It was people floating away on bubbles. It was very, as we call it, be more tea, which is the attitude that Lipton tries to embody in all of our products. So we brought that to life in digital billboards, digital content and statement out of home that were all inspired by what you just saw, but aren't exactly the same thing. And then we tried to share it out. So we created the auxiliary content. Video that we posted online in our social channels, as well as all the hashtags, shares, mentions, and other tags that you can imagine. So this was the comprehensive media plan that we spent a lot of time building out. And now we dive into the specifics, attract media, and touch tunes. Really smart strategy here. And extra accolades because these guys put it together really quick for us. It was something it started out as a really smart strategy, but it didn't fit in the initial goings, so we added it real quick at the end, but it killed for us because they pinpointed their entire map and only activated in touch tunes that were within 5 miles of Walmart, and that was for twofold. First reason was Walmart is obviously a point of purchase for us. We were available. They're always a big seller for Lipton products and any Pepsi product. But two, Walmart was actually the first ones and only ones to carry Lipton Sparkling for the first couple weeks of its existence. So it was twofold in that the commercials at Touch Tunes would drive people to Walmart to purchase, but also the people that would see them at Touch Tunes had likely shopped at that Walmart previously and had already seen it on shelf. So there was a little bit more receptivity to that video. Really, really cool execution. In terms of reimagining the media, we did a big activation in Times Square where we synchronized these two billboards to bring to life aspects of the TV commercial, whether it was the actual tiny bubbles, whether it was characters floating around on screen in a larger-than-life way, Or if it was just tapping into, this is Times Square, the tourists. What are the New York City iconic moments we can tap into? Times Square, Statue of Liberty, big city, any reference to try and capture those shared and earned views of, for Lipton Sparkling. But I think the marquee that we're all here to talk about is our Grand Central activation that everybody's been so kind to talk about. This is where we took the entire commercial and we tried to create an augmented reality experience that brought it to life so that you could walk through and be a part of the commercial, essentially. We used this particle diffusion technology to create a transparent screen that we projected our characters onto, and it was, well, let's just go to the video, because I think it's going to be a lot more impactful. I had a whole lot more words, sorry.
Tiny bubbles all the time. Yeah, they make me feel happy. Oh yeah, they make me feel fine. Tiny bubbles, they make me smile all over, with the feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time. So here's to the golden moon, and here's to the silver sea, and mostly here's a toast to you and me, to you and me. They make me feel fine. Tiny bubbles, they make me smile all over, with the feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time. Tiny bubbles, all the time.
Great. So that song was on repeat for a solid 2 days at Grand Central. So forgive me if I didn't have the right face there. Tapping into some of the words that I had skipped on the previous slides, we activated this great event in Grand Central. Vanderbilt Hall took over half the space, and the reactions that you saw in that video didn't begin to capture what we experienced. It was such a cool event because everybody that walked by, there were double takes, there were pointing and staring, everybody whipped out their phone. It was fantastic. My favorite story was I was actually standing there, and a guy walked in, he's like, "What's this?" And his buddy's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Oh, no, it's from that TV commercial." And it was the perfect thing for a brand person to hear because that's exactly what we were trying to do. And it was a success. We had tremendous hashtags, all this auxiliary content we had through digital. We had hashtags, we had GIFs taken. There were countless photos that we couldn't exactly track, but the event was a huge success. And what I skipped over in the previous slide was that we implemented the eye tracking technology. So I referenced that one of the big challenges here was to be accountable. And we explored not just the activation itself testing technology, but what can we do to make it accountable? And so we implemented eye tracking, and we tracked at least 44,000 eyeballs that actually spent time lingering with this screen and enjoying the experience. So that was a really, really big win for us. So very, very exciting. And I think that is it. Thank you for your time. Get more tea.